One. All right, we are live for the
baby. We live.
78th episode of the
Let's Go podcast. Back again, our second recap Gridiron Gauntlet podcast, and we here with the Tier 2 champions, Avi Kurtz, Moshe Levy, repping Smash House. Absolute domination in the Tier 2 Gridiron Gauntlet champions, and we are going to talk about the whole event and how the day went with them. We got Jonas and Lohinger, of course, the commissioner of the Gridiron Gauntlet, as we've come to know him. And, of course, Dave Gottlieb, the head of the show. Dave, take it away.
I'm the head of the show. The head of the show is sending out YouTube links so everybody can follow along. But we're very happy to have the young talent on the show. You know, besides your brother Harry, Avi, these are the youngest guys we've ever had on Let's Go. We haven't had high schoolers before, I don't think.
That is true. I think Harry Edelman is no longer the youngest.
Harry is the youngest.
Oh, so what's the big... You're saying that these guys are
9 years old. He
youngest.
can barely string two sentences together, you know.
Got it.
Is he going to be watching this? Is he going to?
Harry Edelman watches every podcast.
I'm a little salty at Harry because he was supposed to be working at the Gridiron Gauntlet and he lasted about 3 hours, and then his ankles and knees were hurting. But let me get out.
No, but he picked it up in the playoffs and championships. He live streamed the championships and he videoed the whole playoffs. He took a 2-hour break in the middle.
All right, I sent out the link. Did you guys get it, Avi and Moshe?
Let me check. Oh, how we doing?
Yes. What should I do? Post on my stand?
I'm just...
You got it. Listen to that.
Guys, just take your time. Let the hundreds of viewers just stare at you while you just banter with each other.
No, what's gonna happen is they're gonna get all advertisement deals from this link. This is the start of their future, you know.
I'm saying this is very important.
Yeah.
Start.
Jonas-san, by the way, while they were saying the link, these kids had the chutzpah to tell me that it's not a big deal that Most Sports, led by Avi Edelman on the mound, made the championship 2 out of 3 years because there's only 4 or 5 teams in the Monday Night League. Such immature kids, no?
Jonas-san, if you're playing in a 14 league, you have a 25% chance of making the championship.
Less if you're no, Kurtz. Less if your pitcher's Avi Edelman. So it's like 18%.
Absolute chutzpah these kids have. Absolute chutzpah. Anyways, Dave, let's get things going. Yeah,
let's get things going. So we have here 2 very young players. Something pretty amazing happened on Sunday night. I didn't watch too much football. I was busy. I was busy schlepping crap all day. And anyway, I watched a couple of games. So Mo Feintuch messaged me, "Did you see any Lions today?" That's Mo's new his new catchphrase for talented athletes. Not just talented. Sometimes he'll watch the podcast and Mo will say to me, "Is this guy an alpha male? Is this guy not an alpha male?" I mean, he'll have his own determination. He'll pick outcomes of games based on the personalities of the people in the podcast. So I said I saw Zin. Zin is definitely a Lion. And I said I saw this new kid, Moshe Levy. And no disrespect, Mr. Kurtz.
All to him right here. This is the dog.
So he's like, oh, he's on our team. He's on Mo's Sports on Monday nights. I know how to pick the winners. So I said, that's great. And then he told me a lot of good stuff about you, Avi. Although he said you and him have a history of chirping at each other. I don't really know.
Yeah,
yes.
Funny. He played with this year in the Yeshiva League, in the Netzach League, where me and Moshe played together mainly. We played against Darche. And Mo was actually coaching a team that didn't make the playoffs, and he volunteered to pick up another team in the playoffs. He picked up a team that was playing against us, a snowy game, ice on the field, Dom's out there in the shorts. And we're playing against them, and we have a sustained drive, and I make a rollout, throw a touchdown, and I turn to Mo, I said, "Don't worry, there'll be a new team for you to coach next week."
Very good.
And he lost it, and he started trash-talking me on the field. I'm like, "Man, you're coaching, you're trash-talking players out here." And like, he starts telling me my balls deflated, yada, yada.
Mo said that? Wow.
I know me and Moshe like to get competitive on the field, bring it gets fun. But I wasn't expecting anything to last after, and he continues. He gave me a text that night, calling me disrespectful and the whole thing. So we ended up chirping a little bit more over text. Yeah, a little bit more over text.
Wait, Mo said you're disrespectful?
If it wasn't for Mo's privacy, I would read those texts right now.
Wait, so how did this 360 develop, in which Mo is asking you guys to play on our Monday night softball team? I don't know if I want this. I don't know if I want this chemistry on our team. I might have to talk to Mo about Mo. Everyone knows that Avi Edelman is the influence behind the team. So if I give one call to Mo, you guys will be sitting with no roster as of 45 minutes from now.
So ultimately, what happened was that anyway, I was like, okay, anyway, great game, fun. Sorry if I offended you. And then he's like, and then he texted, he's just like, yeah, whatever, it's all good. We'll have to make a team sometime. And then he texted me the next day. He's like, by the way, I'm the captain of a team in the spring. Do you want to play for us? So me and Moshe played together. We won the fall league, also tier 2. We got to start winning some tier 1 things.
Yeah.
That's.
Well, I was gonna bring that up in a few minutes.
Do we want Yossi Levenger on? He's asking to come on.
No, what do you mean? He stuck his way out. He's not even on our team.
I'm down.
Actually, I would like him to come on because people are saying without Yossi, you guys would have gotten bounced in like the quarterfinals.
I'm
serious.
They're saying Yossi Levenger was the key to your success.
He single-handedly won you guys the quarterfinals and
semifinals.
No, championship is hard to argue because it was 40 to nothing.
Still,
so it's hard.
And still, I got the complaints of the championships. It was Yossi Levenger.
Yoda-san, we won the championship game 35-0.
By the way,
yeah, that's hard.
Right. And still, people are saying
against the best quarterback in the tournament. Never mind tier 2, Menachem Edelman. No bias. A lot of chirps.
Talk about that for a second. Let's talk about that for a second.
Avi, you know it's his cousin, right? Avi, you know it's his cousin.
Yeah, sure. So Menachem, by the way, class act. He texted me after the tournament. He texted Moshe. Guy's a mensch. Okay, he's a real
like all Edelmans.
Real class act. Only respect. I must say, he was the quarterback we were warned about. Yoda-san told us he's the other great team in tier 2, and honestly, he's got a great ball. He throws the ball nicely, and he's a good player. But
wait, what was the score in that game, Avi? When you played him in the semis?
We beat them we were up 2 with a minute left. They scored a touchdown, gave us the ball back with 20 seconds, and we beat them by a drive. So we were up two scores the whole game, and we beat them by 1. But yeah, we had first drive of the game. Simcha came on the press on Moshe, and Moshe wasn't impressed, whatever, covered. But Simcha guarded him well that game. Honestly, he's a good player. Simcha, we played together last year too. But anyway, Menachem's the quarterback for Americas this upcoming year, where Moshe will be representing.
Wow.
Shout out to the
Moshe.
Moose.
You already made your commitments. You already committed very early already.
Shout out to the Moose.
It's common.
But anyway, it was fun to beat him, just so I could tell Moshe, listen, you could go play for the Moose, but we did take him down 1. So.
By the way, I just want to say, Yossi's hopping on.
You didn't waste any time.
Anyone? Welcome, Yossi.
Welcome, Yossi from Team Barbecue.
I heard Avi's not happy that I'm here.
Me?
Who, Avi Edelman?
No, Avi Kurtz.
Oh,
no,
yeah,
I am happy.
Avi didn't want you to come on. He
I'm
wanted
happy
to
you're
be
here. Me and Moshe were getting praised for our success. I don't need them to say that we got carried in the
No,
podcast.
I'm gonna put this out there. They would have won without me. That's for sure.
No question.
Well, let's get into. I want to get into that. And Dave, Dave. I'm sure you have a lot to say. I'm sure you can with your game plan. I feel like we're distracting and.
I'm just letting the boys enjoy. I don't know if you want me to set some structure.
Before we get into the nitty gritty of the tournament, I just want to say how this came about. This was really supposed to be, for those who don't know, Yosef Kreindler's team. It's actually funny how this all worked out.
Barbacoa?
No, you guys.
Oh, us.
I didn't think you guys were bringing a team. I spoke with Avi Kurtz. Avi said it's not going to happen. And Kreindler was supposed to bring a team from May guys. Maybe Moshe, he said, Moshe, you were probably going to play with them. It was slowly falling apart. Yeah. Avi resurrected it, and I'm glad he did because you guys ended up winning a championship. So,
yeah. There's a lot of background behind the scenes that went down, but thank God. Maybe we'll reveal some of that. But
yeah, so let's get some structure here, Dave, and we'll get into.
Okay, yeah. So let's get into it. So Yonasan, first things first. How did you bring Moshe Levy and Avi Kurtz onto the into the tournament? How do you know these guys? How did you encourage them to do it? How did you recruit them? So on and so forth.
I think I know both of you originally from Dom's league. Moshe, by the way, credit to you. I think your name came up from 5 different teams. People are asking me is Moshe Levy on a team? Is he available? I got your name.
He's a lion. He's a lion.
Big name in the tournament. A lot of people asking about Moshe Levy.
Avi, he's the newest wide receiver, obviously. So,
Avi,
there's nothing else to it.
Felt like he had the talent to bring a great tier 2 team that could win it all. And again, I didn't think it would happen, actually. A few months ago, I thought Avi wouldn't do it. And then, Baruch Hashem, it all worked out. Yeah.
Avi was getting a little lazy, but listen, we got the opportunity. The opportunity presented itself. We answered the call. And, it's always a good thing the whole tournament when you hear on the sidelines, why are these guys playing tier 2? Why are they in tier 2? These guys are the tier 1 team. So listen,
It's true.
we did what we had to. I can blame Yonasan for putting us in tier 2, and you won't make that mistake again next year.
No. This is a tier. By the way, you're not just
Dave,
tier
what
1
do
team, a real like a competitor. Like you guys.
Dave, what do they call that? What Avi Kurtz just said? What do they call that, Dave? Let the audience know one more time.
Who said the people saying they're in tier 2?
Avi Kurtz just said that we did tier 2, we won tier 2, and now we know what we got to do next year.
Big Briss energy. We call it Big Briss energy. That's what we call it on the podcast. Big Briss energy.
Listen, it's better than small Briss energy.
Absolutely, that's exactly the point. So, Moshe, you're obviously
speaking about small Briss energy. Can we get into that Lakewood team a little bit?
Which Lakewood team are you talking?
I want to talk about the LBA hoodie that was on Ellie Siegel the whole tournament.
Wow. Okay.
How does word spread so fast? That's a
teams
quick.
are allowed to represent. I mean, you're supposed to wear your jersey.
Wait, let's let Moshe talk. What did you want to say about it, Moshe?
Avi.
Me?
Moshe.
Avi.
I mean, Avi, sorry, yeah.
Listen, HSL is trying to imperialize all out here, trying to take over territory. And LBA doing what they're doing and a great job. You know, we brought some of the studs out here. Menachem Lieberman, good player, likes to chirp. He's a great player. And like that's a team of guys like you would not be able to expect no football. Like I saw one of these guys, big yarmulke, go deep. And like came down on two of the guys in Weissmandel's team, came down with a big ball. I'm like, how'd the ball even end up in his hands? But like all of a sudden, then I come, everyone's wearing white, one guy's wearing black. So I inquire, and my tight end Yehuda Gamza lets me know that it was like he was making a statement actually.
Yeah, so that statement right there, like, man, first of all, it's good hock. We like the hock. It's good hock.
We like the
you
hock
know.
of it.
We love the hock.
We like the hock.
Yeah, we after some deliberation, we don't want to call anyone out for doing anything on purpose. I don't think it was done on purpose. I think it was done just very nonchalant. I don't even think he knew
he was cold, right? But he must have been a little chilly.
Avi, you know what's great about high schoolers? They smell phony from a mile away. You can't BS a BSer, and that's what high school kids are. Absolutely, adolescents. You can't BS them. They smell it from a mile away.
My take as commissioner, my take is everyone. We like that we're bringing a bunch of different leagues together. You know, Dom's League, LBA, RJFL. You know, AFI, and everyone's entitled to represent their league. Obviously, players should be wearing their team jersey, but it's cool in a way that everyone's trying to represent their league and show like, yeah, we're the best league. You know, LBA is the best league. You know, RJFL is the best league. Dom's the best. Like everyone's
and 5 times won both. So.
What?
There were a bunch of by the way, there were a few LBA sweatshirts that I saw being worn in addition outside, and even in MSL. I think what's his face Rosen was repping MSL with MSL sweatshirts.
Rosen was repping MSL with all his hair, in all his glory.
In all his glory, that's right.
We don't get merch in 5 towns, so it's not really.
Whoa! What 5 towns are you talking about? It just all gives out merch. Oh,
Sure, it's not very nice.
Moshe Levy, Ellie Hershkovitz wants you to speak up.
Yeah, Moshe, we need your.
I'm trying to get Googie on the podcast.
What's that?
Akiva Guggenheim just texted me. I'm watching right now. I have no place to be on this. Let's get him on.
Get him on. No, get him on. We're gonna ask him questions. We'll have a question or two for him.
The boys want him on.
We want to see the big Briss energy. Avi, can you also show us your championship trophy? Moshe, I have a question.
There it is.
There she is.
Moshe, I have a question for you, going straight for the jugular. How do you have such confidence on the football field, but so little confidence on the podcast?
Ooh. I don't know. I guess I'm just not smart. I'm not a big talker.
Those are different things.
He saves his talking.
That's why we make a great duo.
The last 4 years, Avi's been speaking for me, so.
He plays for me, and I speak for him. So I'm just like, yo, we're playing here tonight. Show up and bring the game. He does that, and I get us the games.
Everyone has their talents, you know?
There he is! There he is! Good morning! Good morning!
Mr. $2 at a time.
Guys, you know like the podcast, good. You know the show Good Morning Football?
Yeah.
This one's gonna be called Good Morning Akiva.
Good morning, Akiva.
You know, I gotta say I have a special love for Akiva Guggenheim because I've been watching the donations come in, and like every couple of hours, every time I'd see a donation come in, I'd be like excited. I'd get a little excitement. Maybe it'll be $10,000. Maybe it'll be $1,000. Maybe it'll even be $72. And it's like $1 with Akiva Guggenheim. 45 cents with Akiva Guggenheim.
So every
$6 with Akiva Guggenheim. And at first I was like, what is this? And then I realized this guy is out there knocking on doors.
Hustling.
What's that?
Yeah, door to door.
Jesse gave me the call. He said, "Yo, try it out," and I pulled through.
You really did. It's good to have you here. So are you in the same high school as Moshe and Avi Kurtz?
No,
What school do you go to?
Mesivta Tiferes Shmuel.
Tiferes Shmuel. Okay, and you guys are in what school?
Akiva, you're not a Waterbury?
Shmuel. What the code name is that, Akiva?
No, Waterbury.
Wasn't it Waterbury?
Waterbury, no?
Yeah.
Oh, that's
What's the code name? That's not very Waterbury. You.
Akiva's in Shidduchim, clearly. He's
Akiva,
trying
you asked Ari Weiss for $250. We won't say you're in Waterbury?
No, I'm pretty sure that's
Such
just
a steer. Ari Weiss gives you money and you won't rep Waterbury.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure that's what it's called.
Right.
So how do you?
It's probably because of the debacle of a season the Waterbury basketball team had in the Yeshiva League. That's probably
Sorry.
right.
It could be that.
Sorry.
It could be that.
Yo, guys, me and Moshe are having some conflict. For the first time ever, we're doing two people in one spot, and he's telling me I'm not giving him enough room.
That's by the way why I suggested you guys do it from different cameras before Dave.
No,
here
this is
shut
how
me
it
down.
starts, by the way. This is how they break up as teammates. It starts with, like, you're not giving me enough room on the podcast. Before you know it, Moshe has a different QB, and, it all goes downhill from there.
Anyone else real? Is Yossi Levenger still here? Or did he slow?
No, he left. I don't think he was getting enough airtime. It wasn't his style.
Yeah, you know Yossi. He needs the love. Without.
By the
All
way,
right, let's
Avi
get back on
Kurtz
track.
really
Let's get back
calls
on
it like
track
it
here.
is. Wow.
Dave, let's get back on track here, Dave.
It's very hard. It's a very unruly podcast. So, Moshe and Avi, you go to high school with each other. You play football together. Googie, you play with them also?
I actually played with Kurtz a while back, and I played with him in Tuesday Night League. Did I?
Steven, tell them about our Shoresh team. Give a shout out to Natan.
Please give a shout out to Nathan. Nathan's been asking for a shout out.
So we had a team in Camp Shoresh together. We made a team. We specialized in defense. I don't think we have a touchdown in 5 games.
Wow.
What's Shoresh?
Where's the camp?
Camp Shoresh. I forgot what they called us, Akiva. What was it? The Legion of Goon? Something like that.
Something like that. I forgot.
It was something great. And we took a chip home then. But that was Akiva. Yeah, Akiva's more of a ball player.
Ball meaning basketball.
Akiva actually showed up to the tournament. He woke up late, obviously. That was predicted. Vegas had those odds.
Yeah, I don't know.
Showed up in the middle of the game. He's like, yo, I need cleats. So I give him a pair of cleats. He steps on the field. He, is sleeping through the whole first game. Comes one game of playoffs. Presses Morty Moscow up. He didn't have a catch the whole game. And then he tells me the next game. He's like, yo, I'm too hurt to play the championships. I'm out.
Wait, you're talking about Sunday or Shoresh?
And Sunday. So Akiva had a good run, but yeah.
He did great.
Yeah.
So who recruited you? Who gave you the call to join Avi Kurtz's team? Did Avi himself call you?
Avi himself did.
Wow, was it a tough sell?
It was more like, yo, Keeves, we gotta hop back on that Shoresh grind, we gotta kind of chip together. But we're going tier 1, obviously. Now put tier 2. I'm like, we can easily win tier 1.
Talk about big Briss energy, Avi.
Yeah.
That's right.
They have
That's
confidence.
right. We love to hear
they're
that.
good. They know they're good.
We love to hear that. We absolutely love to hear that.
So next year, you guys think you'll for sure be in tier 1?
Yeah, definitely.
Oh, man, you win.
We're winning that thing.
You're winning next year. I have a question. You guys watched the championship game of tier 1. What did you think of the talent?
By the way, did you see that he was eligible?
Say it again?
Let's talk about this for a
This is a
second.
big controversy that's about to happen.
Everybody, and I hope that Menachem Lieberman is watching this podcast.
Avi and Dave, there's a big contrewhy what they're about to talk about. This is huge.
Let's talk about this, and I don't think Avi Edelman's going to be so happy with what I have to say, but this is actually we rewatched the video, and Gabriel Bennett circled something into me. I don't know if you could see this.
Yeah.
Morty Dack stepped out of bounds on his cut back in and was ineligible. Big miss by the ref. LBA should have taken
Dave, I'm not sure if you know all the football rules. The way it works is if a receiver steps out of bounds on a play, he's ineligible to be the first person to catch the ball.
And that was on the
Stepped
game.
out of bounds where? On the sideline or in the back of the end zone?
On the back end zone, the game-winning play.
I'll give it to them.
Once
you can't call it.
Once Surly was scrambling around, he threw it. So everyone was focusing on was Morty in the end zone or not. Now, obviously, he was in the end zone. You watch where he landed on the video. The bigger miss was in a championship game. There should be a back end zone ref. Morty's
Why was there no back? Why was there no back ends refs?
He's right.
We had 3 refs.
But we hired Avi. There was 3 refs per game in the championships. We had a lot of refs.
Where was the third ref? Was there one ref on the goal line, one on the back right, one behind the quarterback? Is that what happened?
Dom was definitely in the front of the end zone, and the young guy was all the way down there by the line. I don't know where the third guy was. Maybe he was on the right side in front of the end zone.
No, the LBA ref is right next to me.
It's a hard call to make in the championship, but
so what you're saying is that they didn't really win. That's what you're saying. Avi, tell it like it is.
I'm not saying they didn't really listen. I have only.
You're saying Ellie Siegel once again is a champion.
That's really what
you're
saying.
You just can't get the guy just doesn't lose championships. You're saying even when he loses, he still wins another championship.
I have a lot of respect for.
So you come on here. You rip Ellie Siegel for wearing an LBA sweatshirt, and then 5 minutes later, you tell us how Ellie Siegel once again wins a championship.
We're not ripping on Ellie Siegel. We're just stirring the pot. Listen, I wanted 5 Towns to win too. I was not liking the energy coming from LBA's team, but you're
calling it as it is. You're saying push comes to shove. LBA has yet again won another championship.
Let me ask the receivers though. Moshe and Akiva, are you scared to go against those guys? You think those guys can take you? Can you take those guys?
Definitely not.
Which guys?
I don't know. Maybe not.
Menachem Lieberman, Dov Podolsky, Tzvi Lieber.
I've guarded Zin well
before. Menachem Lieberman's got, but I gotta give him credit. That guy. That guy's good. He's a top receiver, but he's like, yeah, we could beat him.
There we go.
We could beat him.
Tier 1 next year.
Definitely could beat him.
This is very interesting because
without Levenger too.
I would think. I don't know.
No. Levenger is the key to all your games winning. That's it. You're not winning anyone without Levenger.
Yeah, I wanted to get into that. So, your guys' first game without Levenger, who'd you guys play against? You guys played against a team that Levenger was on originally, and what'd you do against Andy's Kitchen?
Well, I think Dave Levenger provided us with some highlights yesterday. It's out there. You could see.
What was the final score in that first game?
I think we won by like 3 or 4 touchdowns.
Yeah, we won 30.
Did Rabbi Davidowitz play in that game?
Yeah.
How was he?
Davidowitz on the other team?
The rabbi himself with the big beard. Did he play?
Oh, he didn't.
Oh, no, I have no idea what that is.
He didn't play. You would have known if he
played. He was wearing cleats the whole time. I don't think he touched the field, though.
So did you guys have any competitive games?
Yeah, we played against Menachem Edelman in the semifinals. We did it to ourselves. We were up, I think 2 or 3 scores going to halftime, and we got stopped on 2 fourth downs, but that was our closest game. And then
what was the final?
We won that game by 8. We put up 3 scores, so I don't know, it was like 21-13, something like that. But we won our first playoff game against Shloyo 40-0, and we won our championship game 35-0.
Wow.
It's a real beat.
That was complete dominance, and everyone's always hating on me for not getting good footage and highlights of Tier 2. When you're winning games 35 and 40-0, how can I stand?
There's a lot of highlights.
No, you could have had Dave be by our field the whole game. You guys could have made the whole video.
Moshe, I got your trick play. Moshe, I have your trick play touchdown on video.
Somehow, Yossi Levenger got a personal highlight reel of all his great plays, which wasn't in our contract. I hope Yossi paid him privately because I don't know how much he was missing all the other players, busy getting all of Yossi's sacks, which is pretty funny.
You should know, by the way, that last play, the play that's been going viral. Like, Jonas's been messaging me that, people have been talking to him about it. We even got Sach Felberg messaged me that people have been talking to him about it. I walked into Chavetz Chaim this morning, and had 3 separate individuals who, aren't in the hack when it comes to football. It's guys a couple years younger than me, learning Ben Azmanim, start guys, saying, Avi, I heard about the tournament. I saw that last play. That's crazy. I really think it's making rounds, by the way. It's pretty incredible how much of an impact that.
It was, honestly, the catch gets a lot.
Yo, you know what happened?
That's the way to end it.
So I was in the barbershop yesterday. Also, I got a call from our Kalish. I was like, yo, congratulations on your big win yesterday.
Wow.
Thank you very much. And I'm like, yeah.
And there he is, Akiva Guggenheim. What a story.
By the way, I thought you were actually building up something, but Kalish himself knows. Makes me feel special.
I'll tell you the two craziest parts of that champion and that last play was everyone thought the ball was going to Zin. For Morty Dax to make that play,
it was always going to be on.
It was, and I think as a quarterback, what doesn't get love is how did the ball get there?
Crazy.
He was turned around.
That was a prayer. That was a full-on prayer.
Yeah.
The ball Surely was turned around. Funny enough, you want to talk about next generation of how we're young. So my tight end Yehuda Gamza, we've been playing Tuesday night since 10th grade, and against Dax. Dax has always been the big beast of that league. So funny enough, Srilly Dax works for Gamza's father. So every time, like it's always like, okay, fine, you beat us in football, but you're still working for my dad.
By the way,
you mean there's more to the joke?
Yeah. Avi, we said yesterday, Srilly came in with so much confidence. Next day, he went into work and asked for a raise, but it was Gamza's dad, and Gamza also won. So
he said we're even. He said we're absolutely even.
Yeah.
It's really, really cool that, like, thank God the tournament went really, really well, I think, for the most part. And other than these guys from Smash Us over here, just absolutely killed everyone. I think it was very competitive for the most part. It was great vibes, it was a good chill. But, like, it's literally like, like Derek Jeter's walk-off hit, last at bat at Yankee Stadium. Like, you can't predict a better ending, especially for Tier 1. You can't do it. You have two absolute best of their best from Lakewood and from Five Towns, people who never play against each other. You have both refs repping each city. You have, Dom told me he made sure, because him and Joe are both Five Towns refs, he made sure to have the third ref who strictly does LBA in there as well, and just all came together, and to end it with that play is absolutely nuts. I'm getting a lot of mixed messaging on that last play. Like, certain guys are telling me, like, oh, like there was absolutely, guys are telling me there was absolutely no skill whatsoever other than Dax high pointing that ball. He said the throw, like Googie was just saying, was he just chucked it up while he was spinning around, just chuck it to the end zone. Then you have other guys saying the fact that he got that off in that moment is absolutely insane. So
he was facing the other way.
40-yard backwards, prime Russell Wilson move. Prime Russell Wilson.
Cool timeout. Ellie Milk Amsel's asking, do we get free burgers from Smash House?
We will ask Smash House. We did give Smash House some really good publicity with this win, so maybe we'll ask him. You never know. Smash House is one of our kindest, nicest, and most giving sponsor, probably. I won't say most. They're all giving. They're all nice, but Smash House is up there with everyone.
We're trying to get on. We're trying to get. Once I thought once we get. It's funny because Daniel Gortz, who's from May, he had to actually, shout out to the Modocs May. He actually didn't have Ben Asmaning yet, so he had to miss yeshiva. He had to miss yeshiva for that game, and the big thing was just like, he might get exposed when he gets put on Smash House's Instagram. But
I actually posted it, and Smash House didn't. They liked the photo, they didn't repost it, and they reposted
maybe because we didn't use him as our caterer. We wanted to, but it was too far away. Unfortunately, we wanted to use him as the caterer, but it didn't work out. But I have a couple things to follow up on, guys. First of all, the Modocs May. I'm from a yeshivish. What?
No. That was unnecessary shade. May's a great place.
Amazing.
No. I like the shade. I'm from a yeshivish background myself. My wife is Modocs, and I'm from Teaneck. She's as Modocs as it gets. I've been screaming at Yonason for months.
No, Dave, May's not actually Modocs. He's kidding, by the way.
Yeah,
May is not a Modocs school. I was just making a joke.
They didn't give off
yet.
All right.
They didn't give off yet.
Anyway, my point was, how do we get more Modocs teams at the tournament? We want as many teams as possible.
They're not good enough.
Dave, he's right. They're great at basketball. A lot of them are not as tremendous at football. A lot of them.
You mean they can't even compete in Tier 2?
Some maybe.
We play against May in the Netzach League. That's where me and Moshe played against Daniel. It was actually it's funny. Me and Moshe, like from being in camp together, like young. Anytime, when are we really getting to play? We're never going to be on the same league team or anything. So anytime we play against like another intercamp like game, and they would make like an all-star team, we'd get to play together, and like every other camp would be like, yo, that's unfair, that's crazy, but when me, Moshe, and Akiva played together in camp, but we played together in 10th grade in the May League, and we had a devastating playoff loss to May, actually. In 10th grade, the JV season. And, the next year, I take full accountability. We actually just didn't get the offense moving that game. But the next year, when I was in 11th grade, I wasn't the quarterback. I played defense that year. There was a 12th grader who was the quarterback. And again, we lost to the championships to May. Also a terrible loss. So, like,
So you got a lot going. You've got a lot of tough losses to May.
Got his number.
Why did Avi Gluck play in the tournament, Yonason?
Why did Avi Gluck play in the tournament? He was asked. It didn't work out in the end. I don't know. Shame. It's a shame. I think he missed out. I think Avi loved this.
But then this past year in camp, playing on a baseball team with Moshe, which we started off because we also that's where majority of our championships are actually on the diamond. But we
It's tied now.
it's
What happened in RSK that last year? I forgot.
very nice, Avi. You're something. Listen, you didn't even play the game we lost.
Avi,
you were on the bench.
Avi Kurtz, here's my question for you. Avi Kurtz, here's my question. Do you think after seeing this win from you guys now, the May guys will be more roused to bring a team like?
No, so let me tell you what happened. So we playing baseball together this summer, and I don't know if you guys ever watched Akiva. You ever watch like MLB avoiding the tag videos where like you get all fancy with it?
Sure.
Like, so I tried doing one of those coming home. Never spin move on a baseball field.
No.
Because my body spun and my cleat was stuck. I broke my foot.
Oh my gosh.
Made first trip to the ER. Shout out to Ariel Swing for taking me there. I heard he was on the podcast.
Ariel Swing is part of the biggest debacle in HCL history, debatably. But okay, go ahead.
I'm not going to get into that.
Okay, Avi, another time, another podcast.
Yeah.
Okay.
Avi, finish
The link, Ariel Swing, the link home care debacle.
So I wasn't sure.
Oh, that's what you mean. Okay.
That's why I wasn't sure what the deal was going to be this year. Coming off the injury, I didn't make a team in the Tuesday night league. Wasn't sure, but I made it back for the season. That's our season, and we played against. Where do we find ourselves? Against May in the championships.
Are you guys teams in the league?
What did you say?
Severe underdogs too.
One more time.
Are you guys the only two teams in the league? You and versus me.
No, yeah, it sounds like that. It sounds like that, but so the only two viable options. So we play against May again in the championship, coming off the championship loss and our loss in the semifinals, and you know, we had it with them, and with 9 seconds left, Daniel Gortz, who's on our team, all love, only respect. Sorry that I'm calling you out. Moshe turns to me. I threw Moshe the ball once that game, which is a mistake no quarterback should make. And Moshe turns to me and he says, "Just give me the ball." He says, "Just because he's on me doesn't mean you can't throw it to me. Give me the ball." So I was like, "All right, what are you running?" So I sent him on a post. 9 seconds left, and we hit a buzzer beater touchdown to win the championship. So I texted Gortz. When I offered him to play, I'm like, "Good thing you're on our team this time." And listen, we took another championship home together. So yeah, me and Moshe we're going for a three-peat in the Netzach softball this season. We won the last two, and we won football this past year. We took home the Gauntlet, and we took home HSL spring fall softball. So
Avi, at such a young age, what else do you have to accomplish in this world?
We're five championships strong. So if you ask me, I got 5 rings on this finger. The thing left to accomplish is just to put a ring on the other one.
I'll actually get into the next question. Which one of your rings so far is your favorite?
Definitely.
Guys, he's not Michael. Let's relax a little bit, guys.
Keith, put him in his place. There we go, Keith.
There
we go.
No, but serious question. We asked this to the tier 1 guys. I'm curious.
He had me in Moshe.
Yeah.
I want to hear from all of you. Which one of those championships are your favorites? So how does the Gauntlet championship line up?
Wait, Avi, 1 second. Before you head to Avi Kurtz, are you even sore? Because if they were just carrying you the whole time, like, did your feet even hit the ground or no?
Oh, you're saying good. So I didn't play defense. You're actually good, but
you can't really carry a quarterback.
I know. I'm kidding. No, you played great. I saw you played great. You played great.
Listen,
I'm just playing.
I'll take being carried because that means I win GM of the year. I rebuild this team.
Yeah. No,
so what are your favorites? Which one are you won so many championships? Which one's your favorite?
I've been doing Moshe. What's Moshe's take?
Definitely the May championship this year.
Yeah, that was the best ending.
I've been trying for 3 years. And
it was our first championship in the league together. So like every year was fine. It was such a good way to go out. Like especially as the underdogs. Like a lot. Honestly, shout out to the whole Netzach team. The defense had a lot of heart in it. We made it happen. And funny enough, my center called in sick the night before. The guy who played center that game never snapped a day in his life. So that was a fun game. But if not for the football one, just in the baseball world, because that's where we have 4 of them.
Avi, do you see these comments I'm posting? Does it show up on your screen?
Yeah,
do you see that?
Our JV one, our JV softball chip, we went 32 scoreless playoff innings. So
wait, you do or you don't see the comments?
No, we don't.
I'm the only one. I see them, Dave.
Oh, the guys are cooking you. I mean, it sounds like you didn't get a Tier 1 AFI championship.
No, he didn't play in the AFI yet. He's in high school.
We're in 12th grade.
Okay. Tier 1 AFI championship. Got it. Also, you said divorce says it wasn't complete dominance.
On Sunday?
That's it. It's divorce. It's divorce said. It's divorce said. He wants to.
It's divorce said it wasn't complete dominance. Yeah,
He's a great player.
he's a great player. Made a nice slant. I'm him. Man, it was down 13-0. He's telling us that he's him. Listen,
Avi, go easy. He broke his hand. Go easy on him.
He's a great. I've played with Yitz before. A great player. Honestly, he's got shifty route runner, and he's got the most dog in him out of anyone. In the corner.
So one second. Akiva, have you won anything?
Don't do him like that, Avi. Don't do him like
Sunday,
that.
baby.
Nah, I'm saying I've heard about all this winning besides Sunday. Is that it? Is that all the winning you've experienced?
Experience. Let's see. I beat Kurtz actually in the championship in May.
1 second. Akiva, getting a phone call from a Michaelish is a win in itself. That's it.
I'm not a big football guy. I'm more of a basketball guy.
Yeah, the Guggenheim.
No, I'm asking everything. How does this Gridiron Gauntlet Championship line up against your other wins? What was your most enjoyable win?
Couldn't get the Shores tournament though.
My best win's gotta be versus Kurtz, obviously, and Levy. I mean, what was grade that's at? 10th grade in the basketball win.
We took the Shores tournament home though.
Yo, let's get basketball off this time.
Yeah, here we go. Avi, question you. Back to football. Back to the Gauntlet for a second. Avi, you said you're ready for Tier 1 next year, right?
More than
Are you aware we might have Avrami Zegelbaum next year, Dovi Mann, Salah Cease, Mayor Baum. A lot of guys talking of coming next year to this tournament. More competition, better teams. You know, everyone said the talent was the craziest they've ever seen this year. What do you think next year is going to be? It's going to be insane.
We're only getting better.
Yitzhak DeVore said against you wasn't a beatdown. Don't act cute, Avi. You don't know what's coming. No, he didn't say that last part.
I know where you live.
I'm not throwing shade against Yitz, but he's taking the time to watch this thing, so someone's still stuck about Sunday, eh?
Wow.
Listen, they got a nice cute video of Yitz with the pointing to the camera, the whole thing. It's great for Shaduk.
Moshe Zinn and Shalom Prager are unhappy that their game-winning TD is being called back by Avi Kurtz, and they want to come on to the what?
It's not being called back; it's being called out. Listen, no one's putting an asterisk next to their trophy like they won it, but it's just being just so they can know that Morty's got to watch his feet.
Every time I look at that trophy, I see that foot on the line. Let's just say that.
Yeah, that's right.
Kurtz, have you seen?
In other words, there is an asterisk on the championship.
By the way, Avi, when we gave out their championship trophies, you see that thing on the top of the trophy, that guy? We put a line by that foot underneath it for their trophy.
That's right. Listen, they're a good team. I think Eichler, by the way, we just call him out how it is. He's an X factor.
That backflip.
No, he's fantastic.
I had a question. Did he know? Oh my gosh! Shali Melech Hamzel said Avrami Zegelbaum is the biggest choke of all time. Did the back flipper guy Yoni Eichler? Did he know the camera was on him? He looks towards it, right?
The camera's always on him.
Anyway, Zinn is trying to convince Morty Dex to come on. I have a meeting at 12:30. I'm 2 minutes late. Do you guys want to keep going, or should we wrap?
We're gonna have to wrap. We'll wrap, Dave. Let's wrap. We did
All right, guys. Thanks so much for coming on.
Ask your final thoughts. Final thoughts, Avi. What's your last take? Final take.
Avi Kurtz or Avi
Kurtz.
Tier 1 champs next
Listen,
year.
we got to give a lot of thanks to the man who made it happen. Avi Edelman, Dave Gottlieb, Yoda. So you guys put in a lot of work. Really.
Thanks, Avi.
When you asked us to come on the podcast, I wasn't sure if it was too much covered, but we have to reciprocate for tzedakah, for Cherry Hill.
There we go.
Listen, I felt bad for that rabbi. He got up there, and I don't think anyone knew what organization he was talking about. But anyway, we're coming for the chip next year, and there's a lot more where this came from. It's a pleasure of being young.
Before we go, I just want to say once again,
Yoda-san, filter out the wash talent. Anyone who's starting to lose their hair doesn't belong in the tournament.
I want to say before we go, it's all good fun. There's a lot of banter. People like to throw shade on other people. I think in the HSL in general, we have had these situations before where things were said, where voices were heard, where people took things personal or said some things that were personal. But at the end of the day, we are aware that sports is a world of its own. And outside of sports, it's a different world in a sense. Obviously, you have to be careful within the world of sports not to go too far. However, we do want to say a little bit of a disclaimer. It could be that I'm saying this out of insecurity, but I'm going to say it regardless, that all the hating and all the fun and all the banter is all in good love. At the end of the day, the point is that we should all show up and compete, and we just want the most talent. And if push comes to shove, the reason why people hate most of the time is because either of jealousy or of talent. And at the end of the day, when you have dealing with these tournaments at this level, you're dealing with a lot of talent, and a lot of talent leads to. And I'm Trust me. I'm
I gotta bounce off, Avi. I'm gonna leave. You could keep going though.
No, I just want to wrap it up. We're good to go. I just wanted to say.
Let me just say, I only went controversial because I was like, no one wants to hear about football for another.
We love it. We love controversy.
We love Avi. You're great. You
We
guys
love
are
it.
great.
To all
Thanks,
those
guys.
players, they're good players.
Smash House Tier 2 champions.
Next
Thank you for
step,
coming.